The title of this video is Non-Academic Writing. As engineers, you'll generally be writing for an engineering audience, but sometimes you won't be. You may be writing for executives, distributors, suppliers, other employees who aren't engineers. You need to have some kind of a sense as to how general writing works as opposed to engineering writing. Let's do a little compare and contrast. I've compared scholarly sources with popular sources in terms of 4 factors: who produces it, what its purpose is, what the process is, and what the product is. There are differences. Popular sources can be produced by anybody. They don't need to have any qualifications. They can write whatever they like. The aim of it can be to entertain. Academic writing is generally not there to entertain. It's a serious business about serious work. The process: popular sources may be checked by an editor, but they don't go through the rigorous peer review process of academic writing. In terms of the product, you can write anything you want in popular sources. Claims do not have to be supported at all. But in engineering writing, any claim that you make needs to be supported, either by your own work or by the work of other people appropriately referenced. But just because it's non-academic writing doesn't mean you escape the funnels. The funnels are still everywhere. The introductory funnel still has your background, still has your context, and finishes with a single statement, your thesis statement. Its job, similar to an academic paper, is to hook you in. You start broad, but you're thinking about some slightly different questions. Who are you writing for? What are they going to do with this? What do they love and fear? What language should you use? The first paragraph needs to provide an overview of the body paragraphs to organise the work. It provides a roadmap. It's written in the same order as the body paragraph. A short one will be 6 to 8 sentences typically, and it will be simple. If you're an engineer writing for a non-engineering audience, you cannot get into the deep technical details. They will not understand what you're talking about. So you need to broadly sketch over them. That means missing some things out. It means gaps, but you have to live with that because you're not writing for somebody who understands the language. But it's the same deal. You need to finish with that hook, finish with the thesis. So let's talk about getting into that funnel. So you want some kind of a hook at the start, something that's interesting, maybe a fact, maybe a quote. Give them a reason to continue. Don't say something controversial that's going to make them turn aside straight away, right? Don't say something alienating. You can challenge an audience, you can challenge their views, you can challenge their assumptions, but don't do it in such a way that you get them offside. No announcements, again, in this paper, or this paper is about. Don't give them a reason to bail. You don't want people to quit on your first paragraph because they've got something better to read. Let's take apart a couple of paragraphs and have a look at them. This paragraph's about comics. Let's have a read. I'll give you 30 seconds. All right, let's go into the funnel. Let's start with the entry. What have we got? We've gone in with a factoid. It's history, it's a bit of context. We've then got a definition. It's narrower. We started with comics, we've moved into graphic novels. Graphic novels are comics in a different form. We're starting to get more specific. We then get into the history. Comics started in the 1930s, graphic novels appeared in the 70s. We're starting to get a sense of the flow, that they're becoming part of culture, that this paper is going to be about the way that it's becoming part of the culture. So you're talking about the past and you're providing signposts to what the paper is going to be about. There's 4 sentences here which give you some debate, some negatives, some positives, and some changing views. You would expect that the body paragraphs each would be addressing these points. They're great topic sentences for paragraphs. There's a debate, negatives, positives, changing views. Very strong, very clear structure for a body. And then we've got this last sentence, the thesis, the argument, the exit. There's still some debate. The topic is about graphic novels and they're powerful tools. So despite their history, despite some pros and cons, despite some popular debate, the evolution of graphic novels into the mainstream means that they're starting to be used by libraries and they're starting to be accepted. So that's really the gist of the introduction. We've funneled from comics to graphic novels, we've looked at some components of them, and then we've ended with this thesis. It's debatable. Some people like graphic novels, some people hate graphic novels, but it gives you something interesting to think about. has it hooked you in?